Hello and welcome back to another episode of Undertale Beyond the Mountain, and let's see. What kind of stuff do we have today?
Chapter 145, The Old Hero. A long time ago, there was another hero before Undyne. It was Gerson, the Hammer of Justice. When he was a young adult, he would fight the bad guys. He will clobber them with his big hammer. Back then, Undyne will join him as his little sidekick. Gerson will train her by fighting with his hammer. On this day, Gerson is an old man. He likes to keep things calm as possible with his jolly self. No one ever asks about the old rusty hammer he owns. Just this morning, he wakes up to see his shop in a mess. Oh, those darn Temmies. Gerson grumbled. He often gets annoyed when a Tem invades his shop. If only he will find a way to keep them away. Frisk shows up to have a chat with him. Well, howdy there, child, Gerson said. Frisk asked him if he found more research about the Deltarune legend. Why, yes. I have looked at some more research. It turns out that Deltarune is about 3 legendary heroes who saved the Dark Lands. I forgot their names. I believe they were named Christopher, Susan, and some fluffy-looking dude. I don't know if that is their names, but I know that they are a great trio, Gerson said. Frisk got interested. They hope that one day, they will meet one of the 3 heroes. Chapter 146, A Temmie Massacre. As Frisk left the shop, Gerson suddenly heard voices. Voices that sounded like Gaster himself. Gerson, reveal your true form. Your friend demands a rematch, the voice said. All of a sudden, Gaster emerged from the void. He told Gerson that he needs to use his hammer more often. Gerson really didn't want to do this. Then, he sees a Temmie. Gaster told him about his hatred for Temmies. Then, Gerson felt a feeling. A really powerful feeling. He felt the urge to kill it. Temmie smelled Tem flakes. She sees a trail of Tem flakes leading to Gerson's shop. Temmie eats the trail to see the terrible fate awaiting her. It turns out that Gerson laid a trap for her. As she eats the Temmie flakes, Gerson smashes her with his hammer. Bob was watching him. He panicked and ran to get help. Gerson kept on smashing her until she turned to dust and died. Bob ran to Undyne. Undyne. It's terrible. Gerson, your old friend, just killed someone. Bob screamed. Undyne immediately went to action and went to his shop. She sees blood, dust, and flakes on the floor. Well, I bet you weren't expecting this now, were ya? Gerson said. Undyne realized what has happened. She found out that the chaos has taken over Gerson. Now he wants to go back to his old ways. He now wants to fight Undyne. Not only that, he wants to kill her. Chapter 147, The Undyne. MK wants to see what Undyne was up to. Frisk and Asriel followed him. The children watched. Undyne was going through a transformation. Undyne has transformed into her true form. She is now called Undyne the Undying. When she is in this form, she is a lot stronger than before. Gerson prepares his hammer and went on the attack. So that's what that hammer is for. Frisk thought. Gerson may be old, but he is moving a little swifter. Undyne kept on striking him. Gerson tried his best to dodge them, but he still got attacked. The children watched in awe. Frisk never saw the Undying before. Neither did Asriel, and MK. Gerson tried to whack Undyne with his hammer. She quickly dodged it. It seems like the old warrior is no match for the current warrior. Then, Undyne releases one final attack. She sends Gerson up in the air, gives him like 100 punches and kicks and sends him to the ground. She throws a spear, impaling his chest. The kids watching were stunned. Undyne has officially defeated Gerson. Chapter 148, Rest in Peace. Undyne transformed back to her normal form. Gerson was in a bad state. He was all bruised and bloody from the attack. Undyne finally realized what she has done. Undyne, you were always the strongest one for me. All those years I finally found the image I have always saw of you. Just please don't forget me, my lady, Gerson said. Then, he turned to dust and died. Frisk teared up. Undyne started to cry as the memories of her and Gerson flashed in her eyes. Suddenly, the monsters including Asriel and MK started to pray. What's happening? Frisk asked. A hero just died. Every time a hero dies, we must pray that he will rest in peace. Asriel answered. Frisk puts their hands together and prayed for them. Undyne prayed for Gerson to live a happy life in heaven.
And yeah, this is what happens when you mess with old people. I'm sure some of you guys probably saw it coming. I knew that something was up with Gerson and he was probably hiding something. And I did hear people say that he was the Hammer of Justice. That's why he doesn't really talk about it in Undertale. And yeah, in case you noticed, I did put a Deltarune reference. And who knows if I will do another Deltarune reference in another episode. Well, I hope you enjoyed. So, I hope your day goes by good. And I'll see you tomorrow.